Hey, third graders, we are going to shift gears today and do a little subtraction. So we're shifting from adding, right, making bigger groups, to subtracting. Here's a poem that I'm going to share with you, okay, that really helps students in the classroom. So I'm going to put this on Google Classroom in math resources, so you can always go back to it to refer. Remember, when we subtract, we always start at the top, all right? So here are three different subtraction problems. Okay, look at this one, 58 minus 5. And we subtract going down. We never do it any other direction. So get that in your mind. We start at the top and we subtract down. Okay, when you look at that top number, if there's more on the top, there's no need to stop. Just do the problem. I have 8 ones. I can take away 5 because I have enough. So I'm just going to say 8 minus 5 is 3, right? Think about if I were to add these two numbers, 5 and 3, I would get the big number on top. Okay, think about these as the partners. These are the add-ends. So when there's more on top, no need to stop. Just subtract down. When there's more on the floor, I like to call this a line in an equation. When we stack them, this is the floor. When there's more on the floor, well, then we have to go next door and get 10 more, right? A lot of my friends will look at this number and think it's bigger, so they subtract up. No, we always subtract going down. I have 5 and I want to take away 8. I can't do that. This number, right, is bigger. So I have to go over to my next place. This one is the tens place, and I have to take a group of tens, right? So if I take that 10 away from the tens group and I give it to the ones, I have added 10 more. So I started with 5, and then I added 10 more to give me 15. Now I have enough. 15, I can take away 8. I have enough to do that. Again, my answer is going to be 7. So if I add together these two add-ends, I'm going to get my total at the top. Okay, 8 plus 7 is going to equal 15. And remember, we subtract going down. So we need to look, and this is more on the floor. That's my clue that I have to go next door. Okay, if I were in my tens column and I didn't have enough, I would go next door to my hundreds. If I didn't have enough in my hundreds, I would go next door to my thousands. All right, so it doesn't matter what place it is, you always go next door and you get 10 more of that group. Now, if the number's the same on the top and on the floor, if the number's the same, 0 is the game, right? You're just taking 8 away from 8. It's going to leave nothing. So when these two numbers are the same, 0 is your game. Now we're going to do some place value drawing on page 213. So grab your math journal. You should have that and a pencil with you. Page 213, and we're going to work on this one together. Now our poor friend Puzzled Penguin is going to make a visit too, and you know what happens with Puzzled Penguin. He's usually very confused, and we've got to help him out. All right, let's look. In the blue box, it says to solve this word problem. Mr. Kim had 134 kites in his hobby store. He sold 53 of them. How many kites does he have now? How many what? How many kites? So we're looking for the number of kites. He had 134. He sold 58 of them. So what's left? Okay, some of those key words that you're going to notice in a subtraction problem, right? We start with a big total and we need to take some away. So if we're going to write a subtraction, and it means a subtraction equation, right? We're going to write 134 minus 58, right? And that equals that unknown. I don't know what that answer is. Okay? I never solve horizontally. I always solve vertically, which is up and down. Okay, so if I need to do this, I'm going to write it down here where it says to make a place value drawing and take away 58. All right, we're going to solve this one over to the side here. So I want you to recopy this math problem, we're going to stack our ones and our tens and our hundreds. Okay, even though we're subtracting now, we still are stacking the places in the right column. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Some of our friends are struggling still with what the name of these columns are, right? Ones, tens, hundreds, and then the next one would be thousands that we're going to work on in 3rd grade. Okay, so let's do this math problem together. I have 4 ones and I want to take away 8 because remember, I have to subtract down. Don't do it the opposite. I have 4 and I want to take away 8. So here's 4 fingers. Can I take 8 away? No, I don't have enough, right? I'm not going to cut them in pieces to make enough. I don't have any, right? I've only got 4. So in this case, since there's more on the floor, I have to go next door to this tens column. And I'm going to take away 1 group of tens. So now, instead of having 3 tens, I only have 2 tens because I gave it to my ones column. So really what I'm going to do is give 10 more. So all together, I'm going to have 14. I'm going to cross that off, but I want you to see why I have 14, because I added this group of 10. Okay, now if I have 14, I can take 8 away, and I'm going to be left with 6. I have 2 tens, and I want to take away 5 tens. I can't do that, right? 5 is more on the floor, so I have to go next door. I'm going to ungroup my hundreds. So if I take that group of 100, I don't have any left, right? If I have 1 and I take 1 away, there's 0. But I'm going to give it to my tens. Okay, so I had 2, and I'm going to add 10 more. That's going to make 12. So I have 12 tens now. Before I had 2, now I have 12 tens. I'm going to draw a picture in a minute so that this is going to make a little bit more sense. I have 12 tens. I want to take away 5 tens. What would I have left? 7 tens. Okay, 7 tens and 6 ones is the number 76. Okay, we're going to draw a picture now, a proof drawing, just like we did with addition. Remember, we were making groups of 10 when we were adding. Now we're going to ungroup those groups of 10 so that we can, I say break them apart so that we can take things away. All right, so if I have 134, I'm going to draw my square because that represents 100, 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 134, my number on the top. Okay, and I want to take away 58 from this. Okay, I don't have 8 to take away. Remember, we start in that ones column. I don't have 8. I only have 4. So what I did was I went here and I took this 10 stick and I broke it apart and I gave it to my ones. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this 10 stick, right, it's long. I broke it apart into little pieces. When we add, remember, we circle that group and we trade it in for a stick. Now we're taking that stick and we're breaking it apart and giving it back. Okay, so now you can see I have 2 tens and I have all these ones. I have 14 ones. That's what it shows up here. Okay, this is why, because I broke this 10 stick apart and I gave it to my ones. Okay, now I can take away 8 of them. So I'm going to cross off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, here's what I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones I have left. Okay. Now I need to take away my 5, my 58 from my tens group, right? Just like I did here. Do I have 5 tens that I can take away? I don't. I'm going to go next door and break apart my group of 100. Remember, my group of 100 is 10 10 sticks. So I'm going to ungroup one big square into 10 10 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This equals 100, right? Same as this. It just looks different, right? I broke it apart and kind of ungrouped it so that I have different pieces, but it's the same amount. Okay, so I don't have any hundreds left. I only have tens, and I have 12 of them. 12 tens. 12 tens, if I count by 10, is 120. So I have 120 here. Okay, I want to take away 5 tens or 50. So let's take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, and look what's left. 7 tens, which is 70, and 6 ones, which is 76. Okay, so when we're subtracting, now we're breaking apart the hundreds and the 10 sticks so that we can make smaller pieces and we can actually remove them. Okay, so think about a pizza. If you had a pizza cut into 4 pieces, but you had 8 people, you're going to have to make those pieces smaller. So you're going to have to cut your pizza into more pieces. And that's what we're doing here. We're just taking our 10 sticks and our hundreds, and we're just breaking them down into smaller pieces. All right. So up here, this is really what we did for number 3. That was our proof. So let me back up my camera so you can see that. We solved it first because I think it's easier for you to know the answer and to see what we did. And then this is our proof for why we did that. All right. Let's flip the page. Let's look at the back. Here he is. I love Puzzled Penguin, and I think it's perfect for this time of the year because it's winter, right? Penguins are a great animal that we pay attention to in the wintertime. Okay, so here he is. He says, "Dear math students, today I found the answer to 134 minus 58, but I don't know if I did it correctly. Now, before we go on, look at that problem. 134 minus 58. That's the one we've already done. He says, please look at my work. Is my answer right? If not, please correct my work and tell what I did wrong. And remember, we always want to be kind, right? Signed, your friend, Puzzled Penguin. So here's his problem. He wrote it down correctly. This time he did. He put all of his ones together, all of his tens together, and his hundreds together. Because if you remember, the last time when we worked with Puzzled Penguin, he did not have ones and tens in the correct place. He had them mixed up. Okay, so he's got his problem written correctly, which is awesome. But what did he do? What did he do wrong? Okay, we've already solved this problem. We know that 4 ones, and we can't take away 8. Right? What do you notice that he did? Puzzled Penguin subtracted going up. 8, he just looked at the bigger number. 8 minus 4 is 4. 5 minus 3 is 2. 1 minus nothing is still 1. So he subtracted in the wrong direction, right? He just took the smaller number from the bigger number. He didn't pay attention to the fact that he has to start at the top and subtract down. So let's write him an answer. Okay? We want to explain to him what he did wrong. So we're going to write, you subtracted a smaller number from the greater number each time. Right? You should always subtract from top to bottom. Okay, so if you need to pause the video and you write that sentence down, I want this in your book. Okay, so now we're going to practice. We're going to be detectives. We've got our hats on, we've got our magnifying glasses, okay, and we're going to pay attention to what we're doing as we're subtracting. All right, it says to avoid making subtraction mistakes, look at the top number closely. Do all the ungrouping before you subtract. The magnifying glass around the top number helps you to remember to be a subtraction detective. All right, so it says to ungroup everything before you start. I never do that. Okay, if you want to do that, and that's fine. Okay, but I like to do one place value at a time. Here's what it says: subtract, show your ungroupings numerically, so with numbers, and with proof drawings. Okay, so we're going to try to draw just like we did on the previous page, and we're only going to do number 7. Okay, we don't have a ton of room here, so we're going to do number 7. That's going to give you a couple of really good examples before you do your homework today. I have 163. I'm going to take away 47. So I'm going to be that subtraction detective and look at that top number. Okay, I always start in the ones. Is there more on top or more on the floor? There is more on the floor, so I have to go next door, right? So I have 3 ones. I can't take away 7. I need to break apart a group of 10 so that I have enough. So I'm going to go next door and take a group of 10 away. So instead of 6 10s now, I have 5 10s left. And I'm going to give that group of 10 to my 3. So 10 plus 3 more is 13. Not 3 anymore, but 13 because I added a group of 10. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to squeeze it in there in that magnifying glass. Now I have 13 and I can take 7 away. Okay, I know my doubles pretty well. My double of 7 would be 14, so that's 1 less. So 1 less would be 6. I have 5 10s. I'm going to take away 4 10s. I have 5. Can I take away 4? Yeah, I have 1 left, right? Do I need to go next door? I don't. I have 100, nothing underneath it, so I still have 100. Now the way you can check yourself, remember we talked on the previous page, the 2 numbers now, your answer, right, and the number that you took away, if I were to add those together, I'm going to get my big total at the top. So let's just check that. 116 plus 47. 6 plus 7 is 13. 13. I have to put a new group of 10s. 4, 5, 6, and 1. So this matches that. Then I know I did something right. Quite often, our mistake will be in the 10s place. Okay, so double check that. Let's draw a picture, proof drawing of what we just did. We started with 163. Okay, so let's move over here to this space. I'm going to draw a place value drawing of 160 and 3 ones. Okay, we're not going to do this one or number 6. Now I need to take away 7 ones, but I don't have 7 ones. So I'm going to ungroup one of my 10s, right? And I'm going to break it apart and make more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I still have 10. I just put it in a different place. Okay? So now I have 13, which is what I said in my magnifying glass. I have 13 ones now. Now I can take 7 of them away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's what I have left. I have 6 ones left. Okay. Now I have 5 10s Remember, I need to take away 4 tens. Can I do that? Yeah, because I have enough. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. I took 4 away. Here's the 10 that I have left. So I have 1 10. Here's my 100. Did I do anything? Nope, I still have 100. So 100, 110, 6 ones is 116. Okay, this is the proof that I got the right answer. Okay, remember, if you don't need to ungroup something, then don't. I did not need to ungroup my 100 and break it apart into 10 sticks because I had enough, right? There was more on top, so there was no need to stop. I just subtract down, okay? In the ones, there was more on the floor, which is why I had to go next door. All right? Remember, pay attention to this poem so that you can remember the right way to do it. And don't ever subtract up. Always start at the top and subtract down.